This is a mail merge tutorial. It's for my classes. If you're in one of my classes, you know what you're doing here. First, we're looking at product. This is an Excel spreadsheet. It's an actual work in progress. I'm hand loading a database. I'll call your attention to the across the top things like company, title, first name, surname, and a date list. I'm loading 25 at a time. So that's where this line break is here. And then after it's all done and mailed, I load in a mailing date. This is the end product. It's got an address on there that's come from the database. This is a document that's about raising money or getting constructive assistance. This is the bottom of that letter with a hand-done signature in blue ink. That's important. The last thing we have is then an addressed envelope, and with a return address, it's from me to him. That's the whole point of this. It's not a company, but it's to him personally. So that was overview. Now we're going to go on to the next thing. This is a live screen on Excel with the database, the people that we're going to mail to. So I lay on top of that this thing, which is a copy of a letter. That's the letter I've been using. And it's got the code on it. And the code comes from here. That surname is the Mr., Mrs., Doctor, Senator, whatever it is. First name, last name, and which can be junior, the second, the third, you know, whatever else might go on with it. And then the title, president, the company, Health Net, whatever it is, and then there's street address, and all the rest of the information goes out that way. You can actually download a database in bulk. I'm doing these by hand because I'm double checking addresses and using the internet to come up with specific details as to you know, the phone number and the mix of things that I want on. So surname, first name, last name, and is across the top, and that will automatically fly into this this finished letter. That includes this line here too, surname, last name. So it comes up as Secretary Sebelius or Mr. Irwin or whoever it is. This makes it personal. Now I scroll down. You can see up here it stays the same, and I'm scrolling down to the work in progress. I'm loading a new 25. So now I'm down here, and I'm loading these one at a time. I do 5 a day, and then the one indicates that's the pack that I'm going to work on, and then these little letters over here indicate some detail on that's a book publisher, and that's a church, and then there's foundations, and this one is a politician. That all fits what I'm doing. Now we move to the letter itself. This one is our resume. That's one option. But what we're working on is the specific letters and the specific campaign that I'm doing. This is a live computer screen, and what we're talking about here is the typical letter format, the letter I worked on. Of course, it took time to write it and all the razzmatazz that goes on. But once it's written, once it's in place, once you have this here, you will also have a second piece over here called a Mail Merge Manager, and it will give you the details and exactly what you do and don't do to make this thing a living, breathing, working document. So I do a bunch of stuff going down the list here. You can see each of these highlighting as I go through it. And then at this list over here, when I put the cursor right on that and I click, magically what happens over here is that we start clicking through the various changes that happen in the document. So I'll just start zeroing through some of those. These are people that I'm writing to or written to already, actually. This name, of course, changes automatically. So it's all set up in a formula, and away it goes. This then becomes a fixed, saved position document. This is it. This is you'll open the screen up and you'll be right there. You could retype the letter. You can do all sorts of different things. Change your database, do a mix of things. You now have something that is a working piece of information. And finally, we have the fixed position document that is the envelope. And then also this thing over here will pop in. It's a permanent fixed device that you have. It's already been created up here. So if you were to go and start switching on to that, you'd see the names will change back and forth, and you can whiz forward and go like this, you know, and change all the names like that. And that's the way it mails. Accompanying this is also the mail merge lists, and that gives you exactly what the next move you make, next, all the way down the list. Makes it very straightforward. Altogether, this looks very complicated, but any of you that know what it's like to work with a keystroke list realize that how simple we can make a very complex series of tasks. You're going to have some fun with it, and you're going to be teaching it overnight.